Hello. How is everyone today? I hope you're doing well.
Why is Frost Kamikaze's stream avatar enormous? What is that?
Wait, what is what?
Frost, his stream avatar. It's huge. It's right by me.
Oh, you're right. Frost, you have an abnormally large avatar. Oh my gosh, Albert, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elfie.
So, we did a drawing stream earlier. If you guys didn't know, we did a drawing where we were, drawing a lovely Peach Tsune. Just to celebrate her, because she's amazing. And immediately after the stream, I passed out. I fell asleep and completely passed out.
No.
I instantly just perished. Here's the drawing. Here, I'll get it to size real quick. I wish there's a way you could control things when you add them to the source on. Like control the size of a picture before you put it on the source. But here it is.
Oh,
Here's
yeah?
the picture I drew. Isn't it so cute?
Yes. Love it.
Yeah.
Holding one of us in each palm. Very cute.
Yeah. Thank you, Frost. I appreciate your concern. Yeah, after the drawing stream, I just passed out. I was so tired. I was falling asleep during the stream. I was like, oh no, I can feel myself fading away.
Oh no.
And I woke up and I was like, you know what? I could be doing a lot of things right now, but the thing I feel like doing is streaming again. So here I am.
Does this let you play all these other games? Because those are different.
I don't. Are these different
Is it
games?
Yeah, those are different Assassin's Creed games.
But I don't even have this installed. I only installed Shadow. I don't even own these games.
Maybe
Hold
it's
on,
like
I'm just
it'll take you to the store.
Oh, I bet you're right. Let's see. Let's find out. Sure, I'd love to play Valhalla. Oh, yeah, you're right. It took me to the store.
I got real curious when it said launching in 5. I'm like, oh really? Let's see what this does.
He made anniversary art for Dooney? That's awesome.
Aww.
Immersive mode. I mean, yeah, let's go immersive.
Did you read what it does?
Yeah, it combines like Japanese and Portuguese dialogue.
Okay, so make sure, because I don't believe you speak Portuguese.
I
But
should
if there's subtitles, I guess it doesn't matter. For some reason, I assumed that would turn off subtitles, but it doesn't say that, so... The immersive mode sounds good.
Do we want to try harder mode? No. If anything, I
Are
want
you
to make it
familiar with
easier.
these games? Because I don't
Nope.
remember them being easy. Wait, read what canon mode does.
Memories
'Cause
come
I
to
remember
us in
reading about that.
fragments. You live in a
Okay.
jigsaw of experiences and emotions. Some
Wait,
memories
there
are
should be
soothing and
subtitles.
familiar. Wrapped inside them, you
Why
feel
no
time
subtitles?
and place. And then
It
there
should
are
be
the
on
ones
in every
I've
game by
reconstructed.
default.
What I'm about to show you. In
Yes.
these memories there are imperfections,
Are
aberrations that defy algorithm and biology.
they implying that
I'm
I'm
getting ahead of
imperfect?
myself. You may not understand what you're seeing at first, but you must trust me. Trust yourself.
Trust yourself. Okay. I trust.
They have a machine in this universe that can access, like, genetic memories and, like, reconstruct places from the past and, like, get info about, like, what happened there and stuff, called the Animus. Probably
Okay.
gonna come up soon.
So I am pressing buttons and nothing is happening.
Were the buttons working before?
Yeah, I mean, that's how I got to the screen. Is it just loading 1,000 textures and stuff? Or what are they called on Minecraft? They're called like or Skyrim, they're like called like
No idea.
it's like 1,000 different shaders. That's it. That's what they call shaders.
It's cute, Frost. So it's nice to meet that.
Oh, did
幾年も
did
前
Frost
我
post
が
the
旅は
picture?
海で始まった
Yeah, in the
そして長い
art
航海を経てた
channel,
どり
your
着い
art.
た複雑で戦火の収まらぬ地
Alright.
乱世となって早数
Oh,
百
it's Dooney!
そ
Let
の
me
混
show
迷
off
と血
the
しぶきの
Dooney
中
picture.
私に好機が訪れたそれをもた
So
らしたのは
cute.
日の本一と謳われた武将織田信長うつけと呼ばれたその者
Oh
は
shit, Nobunaga mentioned.
この私に興味を示し
We
た
got a Nobunaga mention. Of course, this would be about the War of the Three Kingdoms.
Está na hora. Tragam a cadeira, irmãos. Chegou na hora certa.
Because why wouldn't it, right? It's the most popular Japanese war.
神父殿そなたは今日信長
Well, I
様
mean,
に
it
拝
follows
謁
the
するのだ
character that was, like, associated with
Arigato,
Nobunaga,
Kensho.
so it's pretty limited window of
Yoshi.
time it can take place in.
Yeah. No, I just mean, like, of course they're gonna do Nobunaga instead of any other Japanese war. Which, to be fair, I mean, it is the most fun, like, depiction of, like, of this kind of stuff. So I don't blame them. I just find it funny. Oh no. Is it telling me my computer is too poop for this game? Cause the loading screen so
games-
far. Oh, atrocious.
I know at least some of them are not optimized well. The very first one, on PC, it was so poorly optimized that the official advice for when you want to quit the game was to just press Alt F4, because like it's significantly quicker than doing it the built-in way.
Oh my goodness.
You can tell he's not the stealth guy because he's wearing a bright red shirt.
No, he's so noticeable compared to everyone else.
I guess it wouldn't really matter what color clothes he was wearing, actually.
Follow Mitsuhide. Can do. Currently in the I can't even wander. It's like Monster Hunter Wilds all over again.
Oh no.
I might have to turn down the
Following
settings
Mitsuhide.
cause these load times are unacceptable.
Oh no.
I mean, I played Black Wukong without even a hiccup, but this game seems to have trouble. Look at that man's face. Okay. Yep, we're gonna go ahead and try turning down the settings. 'Cause something's wrong here.
Gonna bump it down from Ultra.
I guess so. Wouldn't it be funny if all the errors I'm having are from the like anti-cheating stuff? The like anti-piracy tech?
I would not be surprised in the slightest.
I mean, it's not my computer, cause like I said, I can play Black Wukong with milky smooth perfection. I'm pretty sure Black Wukong was a much more aggressive game than this one. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if there's an there's no like quality controls.
Upscaler setting is definitely one that affects the game.
I guess performance. I'll try performance. See if that works.
I think setting above that one. No, those are tied together.
Okay. Let's see if that helps.
E aqui temos a Senhora Nene. E junto dela mora Oromaru, o vassal mais próximo do Lord Oda Nobunaga.
Oh my gosh. World of difference. Oh, never mind. Spoke too soon. This is one of those games you probably have to own on a console, otherwise it doesn't work. Well, hi Frost, how are you today? Hi Mizuki, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm looking at the settings thing for you.
Okay.
Oh, it looks like a lot of the graphics stuff was under scalability settings.
Okay. I want to reiterate. This computer managed to handle other games really well, but whatever, I'm not gonna. It's also a computer I've owned since 2020, so
It's probably not your computer.
oh no! Restarting didn't restart at all, it just closed the game. Shrinky stuff, hello!
Steph.
Hi, Steph. Flyby, you're going to work? Isn't it super duper late for you? Isn't it super duper
4:30
late
in
for
the
Shrinky
morning.
stuff?
Yeah, she's getting her daily slime.
Okay. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day at work, sweetie. Love.
Love you, Steph. Have a good day.
Shrinky stuff is awesome.
Okay, all the stuff I'm seeing is people just saying different stuff that works for them. What I would recommend is you go back into that options menu and go to that scalability tab, because that's where everything was at.
Okay. Oh, I have no idea what. Scalability, okay. I have everything set to low.
Oh. Damn.
Well, I just set it there.
Oh, you just did it. Okay.
It was on low, but I set it to very low. So hopefully that changes it.
Yeah, I don't know beyond that.
I feel like my computer could handle way higher. But I'm not gonna complain. This is a neat little space.
This is like the load screen. What's going on?
I think so. I think that's what this is. Sneaky sneak. Part of me wants to just pick up a Black Wukong and put that in, start playing that just to prove that my computer is not a piece of jank. I'm not running a potato, I swear. Doors don't make any noise when you open them while crouching.
Say?
So I've been wanting to play a game where you play as a cute Kunoichi in a mainline assassin game for a while.
The opportunity's finally come.
Maybe. I'm starting to have my doubts suddenly.
Is this on your C drive?
No, it's on my D drive. It's on my... All of my games are on my D drive. When you first turn on the game, it does say, make sure you are... It does say that they recommend using an SSD instead of whatever I have. But I feel like that
An HDD?
should... I guess.
You probably do have an SSD.
I don't think I do.
HDDs are the ones with spinning magnetic discs in them. They like make noise.
Uh-huh.
E aqui temos a Senhora Nene,
SSDs are like little sticks,
o
right?
vassal mais próximo do Lord Oda Nobunaga.
Yeah,
Kill
sort of.
size
They're not always a
Yes.
stick, but yeah, they don't have like moving parts.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I have an SSD.
Nos dificulta as coisas.
Because when you first turn on the game, it's like, warning, you should have an SSD, and you don't.
Oh no!
But like, I've had other games say that before. They've said like, we recommend this, but then like sure, I have to turn down the graphics, but it doesn't, like make the game unplayable. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you the pop-up. Love this one. Well, I guess we're gonna play something else. See, here it is. The game is currently installed on a mechanical hard drive, HDD, which will result in unexpected issues while streaming, low resolution, and frame rate. This will impact the game experience significantly.
You should
So,
find
yeah.
out if your C drive is an SSD, because I should hope it is, because that's the one Windows is on. But if it is, this game would probably run a lot better on there.
I'm assuming it would run flawlessly on there, even at the highest resolution. I don't think my C drive is I don't think I have an SSD on my computer.
This computer is relatively new to not have an SSD. Didn't someone build this for you? Cause like they kind of cheaped out if they didn't get you an SSD.
I don't know. That's, I don't know, but we'll play something else.
Okay.
I don't know what to play. I wasn't prepared for this contingency. But yes, I have been wanting to play a AAA sexy assassin lady game ever since, like, I played all of Ghost of Tsushima.
Was that the one where it let you mod it to be a girl?
Yes. Because...
Amazing.
But, like, I played through all of, Ghost of Tsushima, like, and you had to play as an ugly guy, and I'm fine with that. And then I played Sakura Shadows Die twice, and that game also makes you play as an ugly guy, and I was just like, these games are fun, but, like, why? Why no sexy ninja? Why no sexy ninja lady?
That's a valid question.
I feel like these games need to understand my need. Alright. That's okay. Luckily, I will just have to look into getting an SSD. And everything's going to be fine. I'm having the
Or
darndest
play it
time
on your
right now.
newer computer. There's no way
Oh.
your newer computer has no SSD. Like, I would be baffled and want to talk to whoever helped you make that computer. If your
Have a
newer,
word with
if
the
your
editor.
newer, like, $2,000 computer doesn't have an SSD on it. It's like a,
How would
try
I
to think of
find
an
that
apt
out?
comparison. Well, it takes a few steps, so if you hit the start menu and type system information, click the little system info icon, and somewhere in here, I'm looking, hold on.
Okay. I mean, we don't have to do it right now. I was mostly just curious.
Yeah. Usually the standard for people, at least in the past, was to put Windows on an SSD and then buy a cheaper but larger capacity D drive that's as an HDD.
Okay. Isn't the SSD like a better performance?
Yeah, solid state drives are they basically replaced hard disk drives. I don't know exactly how they work, but I know hard disk drives use spinning magnetic platters and solid state drives don't. I know they're way
Okay.
faster. And I know they cost more.
Okay.
Actually, this doesn't seem that easy to find out. Not a simple, like, just click properties and read it.
You can't just go to, you can't just go to, gosh, what do you call it? Your
Oh,
hard drive thing or whatever, like your hardware settings or whatever.
okay, this is what you gotta do. Open up Task Manager,
Uh-huh.
click performance. And then on the left, there should be like disk 0, disk 1, disk 2. And then it should say either HDD or SSD.
Okay. I know I'm currently offline. I don't want to go online.
Oh, you're not checking it right now. Okay. So I was like waiting for you to tell me. It's not exactly urgent.
Okay, so we're gonna play a game that T-Chen played with some of her friends, which I thought was kind of fun. So, I have to complete this mission, right? But at any point, Mizuki, you can pick, people that I have to add to the target list.
Are you playing Hitman?
So, yes. I've only played this game one time before and I was terrible at it.
No. I'm gonna get a drink and some food. I'll be back in a couple minutes, alright?
Okay.
Be right back.
Hello. How are you all out there? It seems that the shadow game that I was trying to play is unplayable unless you have an SSD. Which is poopy to me. Mm. Mhm. You know, I have owned a PlayStation 5 for a couple years now. And I think the only game I've played on it is Stellar Blade. When I heard that they were releasing the PlayStation 6, or they're in development of the PlayStation 6, I felt like that was really shocking because I feel like the PlayStation 5 hasn't even really started yet. Like, we haven't even really actually started with the PlayStation 5 yet. Are you back, Mizu?
Yep.
Okay. So I was just talking about how I've owned a PlayStation 5 for a while now, and I still feel like the PS5 hasn't officially started yet. like yeah, it's been out for a few years, but like it hasn't really there hasn't been enough games for me to say that it's it's the current gen system yet.
Yeah.
It still feels like
to
we're
really take off.
yeah, exactly. It's kind of like right now with the Switch, how it only has one game. I feel like the PlayStation only has like 2 games right now, and that's Demon Hunters and Stellar Blade, and we're just waiting for the games to come out for it. But they said they have started development on the PlayStation 6, and my gosh, that feels like the wrong move in my opinion.
What a betrayal.
like I've never wanted a console less than the PS6. I'm gonna be honest. The absolute worst advertisement for the PlayStation 6 is the PlayStation 5, in my personal opinion. Because the PlayStation 5 doesn't have any games. Like, it's not even a console yet. Like, when it becomes a console, then I'll get excited for the next one. Hi, Freighter. How are you, cutie? I tried to play a game, but it didn't work, and now I am sad and lost and don't know what to do.
I thought they added more levels to this, didn't they?
They did, yes. They added Wallace and Gromit levels. They're also currently in development of Power Wash 2. Yeah, see, it's speak of the devil.
Did you see the video? Some guy's been posted. He's making some size game, and it's like the 2 clips are a guy power washing some girl's feet when he's tiny. like Power Wash Simulator style.
Oh my gosh, you know what, Mizu? That would be a fun game to play right now. Have you played the Giantess game yet? The Sega Giantess game?
Nah.
Are you interested in playing that on stream at all? Or did you
I
want
don't know.
to?
I heard it's like pretty emotionally intense, and it's like a horror game, so kind of get the impression there's lots of like cruelty, death, torture type stuff.
Okay. I am interested in playing it, but I don't know. I know it's not age restricted, if that's what you're worried about.
No, I meant like emotionally, it doesn't seem like something I would really want to do.
Okay. Understood. This is my favorite level in this game.
What level is it?
This is the level where you are on a giant on a giant
Alice in Wonderland.
yeah.
This is cute.
Wait, they took away my triple nozzle. I'm sheep. I was allowed to use triple nozzle on this level. Wait, I can't play this game without triple nozzle. It's the only thing that makes it tolerable for me. Prima Vista Pro. Oh, that's why. For some reason, my gun changed. But yeah, this is my favorite level in Power Wash Simulator now.
Power washing food.
Must power wash the cheese.
Refuse the soap.
So what was the... I know you've told me this twice now, but what was the game you wanted me to play? I'm gonna cry
That's
looking...
Jack 2.
Oh, Jack 2, okay. Do you know if that is that an emulation game or am I able to play it on computer?
It was like a PS2 game, so I think it's an emulation game.
Okay. I will warn you, I've tried at least 5 times in my life to emulate PlayStation 2 and I've never succeeded. But I will try again.
I know like 15 years ago I had trouble with it, but I feel like your computer can handle it.
Oh yeah, no, it's not about handling it, it's just I've never been able to successfully get it to work, right? It's not about like my
No.
computer handling it.
Gotcha.
But I'll definitely give it a try. Well, first I'll see if there's a PC port of it first. I think that would be the better option if it exists. Before I used to play like this. And that was like fine for me, but then I was like, you know, it's a more enjoyable experience to play like this, where the camera doesn't move with the mouse. And then I realized I enjoyed it. Just like I now prefer it this way because I played it on stream this way. Once you get used to it, like once you get used to controlling it like this, it becomes the preferred method. Final Fantasy IX. There are 1,000 different ways to play that game at this point. I've heard the Switch version is like the best version, but I know the PC version is also really good. Like, I think the PC version is the same as the Switch version now. There's a lot of stuff you can do in that game. You do have to keep in mind that Final Fantasy IX is not what I call a streaming game.
Oh?
If you understand what I mean by that. Like, it has mechanics that were never meant to be streamed. For example, it did come out in the era of like where you had to grind for levels and stuff. But the HD remake accounts for this, and they have added cheat codes to make the process more tolerable and more palatable for modern audiences, which is nice.
I love that they're doing that for a lot of old like JRPGs and stuff where we just didn't have the same modern conveniences that we're used to now. And I'm sure a lot of people will be like, oh, you're doing it wrong, you gotta play it the way the developers intended, like you gotta play it the hard way, but it's like, I have a finite amount of time, and I don't want to waste several hours grinding in a 20-year-old game. Like maybe this was fine when this was cutting edge, and you had very few games to play, like when you're on PS1, like you didn't have a Steam library, you didn't have 1,000 games you could play at any given time, like, so, having a game where you gotta grind for several hours as part of the process, it's like, it's fine, it's part of making the game last long, but nowadays it's like, I don't want to waste my time on that, like, this game isn't good enough, like, in modern terms to warrant spending several hours grinding.
Yeah, I think back in those days, back in the PlayStation 1 days, I think there was like, it was considered a good thing to have more grindy mechanics, and that's just because back then, I guess, people wanted to feel themselves get incrementally stronger over a long period of a slower time.
They want the game to last longer.
Exactly, but Final Fantasy 11, I don't know if you've seen Final Fantasy 11, but it is basically unplayable today.
Oh?
People used to swear by it. They used to say that it was like the best game ever, right? Like the best MMO ever for its time. I don't know if that's true. I mean, I'm pretty sure World of Warcraft has always been the gold standard for MMOs.
You didn't even know 11 was an MMO.
But FF11 does really odd things that baffle me today. And like, I'm sure those mechanics were praised back in its time. I don't see how. Right? Like, I'm trying to like divorce myself from my own gaming existence, and I'm just like, how was this game praised? What was, why did they do these choices? Because let me just name you some mechanics that are in this game that you probably will also find odd. For example, Pocket Mizuki is adorable, isn't she? She's so cute.
No.
Okay, so here are some mechanics that existed in Final Fantasy XI. When you died in that game, you lost experience points.
Oh my lord, who the fuck thought that was a good idea?
In that game, the maps were really big, and it required you to traverse them for about like 5 to 10 minutes to get to where you wanted to go on the map. Skills in that game you learned through repeatedly battling people over and over and over and over again, and it could take upwards of a week of off and on gameplay to learn one skill.
Yes.
A lot of the content was just 100% undoable as a solo player. There was many things in that game that you couldn't do as a solo player. So you either had to have friends who you played with, or you didn't get that stuff done.
I mean, that's kind of just MMOs in general for a period of time.
Right, yeah. And so I'm looking at this list of things that they're saying, right? And I'm just like, I'm sure back when this game was new, these things were pros. These were considered good things to have in the game. But like, we are so far removed from that world that I can't even imagine how those were considered good things back then.
It's funny you say that. I watched a video a while ago about like when WoW first came out and like the MMOs that were there before it, and like a lot of basic features in MMOs that we now consider almost like not really that convenient at the time were considered like extremely convenient. Like WoW had this flight path system where you could talk to a guy in any like village or quest hub. There'd be a guy with a griffin, you could talk to him, and you could fly to any other guy with a griffin. So like any city basically that you've been to. And it's like, nowadays it's like, oh, I gotta sit here and wait while they fly for 5 fucking minutes? But like back then, it was like, that was like indulgent. Like, I remember back then, like, spending 30 minutes walking, like, making a pilgrimage from the starting zone to the other continent in the area I wanted to quest in. Like, games just used to be really inconvenient, and that was, like, seen as, like, a feature at the time.
Oh my gosh. No, please don't say that. That can't be a feature. Why did they not have fast travel? Surely humans had thought of fast travel back then, right?
Well, WoW did have a thing called a Hearthstone. Like the game Hearthstone. That's where the name comes from. You could talk to any innkeeper, and you would bind your Hearthstone to that inn, and then you could use the Hearthstone. I believe it was originally like once an hour, or once every 2 hours. 2 hours seems high, but 1 hour doesn't seem high enough. So you did have a form of fast travel, but that wasn't the kind of game where you like are just going all over creation. Like back then, like you would go to your quest hub, like where you're gonna be questing to level, and you're gonna be spending several hours there, and the only reason you ever really need to leave is to like go back to the city to like level up your talents at the class trainer or whatever, or like go to the auction house. So it's not like in Skyrim where like you need to be quickly getting all over the place, but it was still inconvenient if you needed to get somewhere far away.
Oh my gosh. That sounds... So, what you're saying is, the game had fast travel mechanics in it. Like at the start, like the game was born with fast travel mechanics, and they actively chose not to utilize them.
Well, they use both. Like, you use the Hearthstone as like a always want to be able to go back here immediately. Like, so you'd like set it at the city or something. And then when you're done questing, you can just use your Hearthstone to go back to the city and do your city stuff. But you also have to consider, like, they were trying to make it like a living world type of thing, and when there's like hundreds or thousands of people on, and like they're required to physically like travel across the world to get to places, like the distance actually meant something. Like,
Okay.
they always had a Horde versus Alliance thing, and you could attack the other players' faction cities. So, like, you could start a parade and go attack their city and kill their leader. And they'd respawn after, like, an hour. But, like, actually getting the raid of, like, 40 people, like, to the other faction's city was, like, an effort.
Okay. So I guess that makes a little bit more sense. Getting there was part of the journey, and the journey was the friends we made along the way.
If you look online, there really are tons of stories about people making friends, like, through the dumb inconveniences of old MMO stuff. Like, when I said I made a 30-minute pilgrimage on a new character because I wanted to quest in a different zone, part of that pilgrimage, which a lot of people made, involved crossing this wetlands marsh with like level 30 creatures when you're like level 1. And so to avoid dying like 50 times, and you'd have to run back as a ghost and respawn within like 20 feet of your corpse, and then another 6-legged crocodile would come kill you. So to avoid that, people would shimmy around the continent, which is like surrounded by mountains. And if you did it just right at certain spots, you could like sort of like glitch your way up the mountain. Like, your character would act like they're standing on something when there's nothing there. And like, if you tried hard enough, you would eventually get over the mountain. And you would get to on the other side was that salvation. Like, you're finally there now. And like, I remember doing that, and I was leading an expedition of 2 other people, like, because I had done it before.
Oh my gosh!
And we freaking ran into another group of people doing it. It was just the craziest thing. Like, you're climbing up a mountain, leading some other low levels, and then you run into 2 other people doing the same thing.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. It's like we've done it. We've crossed the peak and we beheld the promised land. We had lost a little Timmy along the way, but we had succeeded.
You know, like, there is truth to the whole, like suffering and inconvenience can lead to, like, you know, positive stuff like that, but, like, that doesn't mean I want games to just be all inconvenient as heck. Like, as much as that was, like, a nice, fond memory when I was younger, it's like, I don't relish having to make that journey that I made back then. Like, it was barely worth it back then, and now it's like, are you kidding me? Like, why would I even bother?
Sure. I think stuff like that you can still have in games. Like, I still feel like you can have that experience. But you'd have to build a world that would cater such an experience. And then, for example, my first thought is Skyrim, right? Where, like, you can't fast travel until you've actually gone to the place for the first time. So, like, if you wanted to do, like, a pilgrimage like that, you could still have that experience. And I guess, you know what, that is how Final Fantasy XIV does it. Because you can't fast travel to a crystal until you've actually talked to the crystal.
Like, that's how, like, every game does it. You can't fast travel to a place you haven't been to yet.
Yeah, so I guess, yeah, they've already perfected that experience. if you wanted to have it, even with the modern conveniences, I feel like that experience could still exist if you wanted it to.
Yeah. I mean, that was a specific example. Like, there's tons of stories people have where it was like, through adversity, like in some game, they ended up making friends. Like, they were hunting some rare item with a really low drop chance that only these sheep in this one area drop, and then they ran into some other players doing it, and they teamed up, and then they got married 5 years later. Like,
For sure. Like, I feel like that is, I've definitely heard that story before where friends got to get met in a game and then they got married later.
yeah. Something I heard that I thought was a good point. In terms of like what the average MMO player wants, it's like shifted a lot since when I was growing up playing MMO or playing WoW. I didn't play MMOs. I played WoW.
Well, back
then
then,
it was
wasn't WoW the only MMO? There was like a million MMOs, but there was really only WoW. Nobody actually played the other ones.
Yeah, more or less. Like, there was WoW. There were the games that came before WoW, like EverQuest, which WoW basically just supplanted. I don't know what the word supplanted means, so if it doesn't work there, just pretend it was a word that does. But there was
That's the
Guild
best
Wars,
strategy.
and that was a free-to-play game, but it wasn't anything like WoW. Like, it was like an overhead view kind of game. But anyway, growing up playing WoW back then, I remember it was like people wanted the game to be like very online and social, and like you gotta work together to do stuff, and like it forces you to social interaction, and like you want to do a dungeon that takes 5 people, you're gonna get in trade chat and find 4 other people to do it with. Like those kind of things were like considered desired back then. But the guy in this video I was watching was saying that like nowadays people want what's more like a solo social experience. Like they want to play the game, or they want to be able to play the game solo. Like they want to be able to get on, do their quests, do their dailies, do like all the stuff that they do without requiring them to stop and like make a social effort to coordinate with some other player. Like, so we have a lot of systems now in WoW that like make it so you don't have to do the coordination as much. Like, there's like a dungeon finder thing where you can just click like, I'm a DPS, find dungeon, and it'll like find you a group of other people who click the button, and it's like it's more solo social in that regard, like, because you're not really talking to these people, you're not going through the effort of coordinating with them, you all click to find me a group, and then you go in there and you do the dungeon. And
Right.
back then, people would have said those features are like, they like defeat the purpose of the social experience, and like, oh, why don't you just go play a single player game at that point, and stuff like that. But nowadays, it's like, if they took those features away, like that kind of thing gave me a lot of anxiety, like having to find like groups, like having to post in trade chat, like, you know, one more tank, and I got like 4 other people in the group waiting on me, like, anyway.
Yeah. No, I understand. I agree with you on this one. It's okay, we can get him rezzed at the graveyard later. Are you talking about little Timmy that we lost?
Yeah. His corpse will be there when he logs in.
Yeah. See, thinking like that, I'm so against. Mostly because it's like, I'm playing this game because I hear it's fun and you make friends on it. But like, I haven't made those friends yet. So it's like, why are you giving me a hard time, bro? Like, I'm just trying to have fun with the game, but I haven't made any good friends on the game yet.
Yeah. And even if you have made friends, like sometimes it's like you just want to get your daily stuff done, and sometimes that involves doing a dungeon, and it's like my friends are in bed or not available. Like I don't want to talk to people. Like I'm tired or I'm high or whatever. Like I just want to get on and do my stuff. Like,
Yeah, right. Exactly. Did you hear that, back in the day, whatever the day is, a lot of Dungeons and Dragons players hated, like absolutely hated, World of Warcraft. Like they were so against World of Warcraft.
I feel like I
Yeah.
have heard this, but I don't really remember exactly.
Yeah, because when World of Warcraft came out, all of their groups just stopped showing up because their friends decided to spend their Dungeons and Dragons time playing World of Warcraft, and they didn't want to stop to play D&D.
Honestly,
so-
I could totally see that. And I bet that was a huge blessing for people like me who are just like not like very outwardly social and like introverted and have trouble getting out and doing stuff. Because the experience of playing WoW with friends was not all that different from the experience of playing D&D with friends back then, I imagine.
Oh, I'm sure it's not.
Because like if you think about the era that happened in, like people who played D&D back then, like they did not have a lot of friends, like outside of D&D. Like if they had a D&D group at all, they were probably lucky. Like getting to go do that D&D game once a week on Fridays or whatever for them, like they all go over to their friend's mom's basement and drink Mountain Dew or whatever, and like play Dungeons and Dragons 2005. Like that was probably like a big thing for them, like every week. And then like WoW comes out and it's like, wait, we can just be playing fantasy games with people all day, every day?
Yeah, I heard that there was a serious Dungeons and Dragons crisis back in when World of Warcraft released, because people legitimately thought that the entire D&D crowd had just moved on to this new game.
What's weird to me about that is like, it doesn't really matter. Because like D&D's not an MMO. Like you don't play D&D with anyone except people in the local area back then. Like, it's like if you have a group of 5 people that play D&D, like, it doesn't matter what the rest of the world's D&D fans are doing, you know? Like,
Very true. Yeah, I guess back then it would be just you and your friends, right? Like there probably wasn't really a Dungeons and Dragons online scene, was there?
well, yeah, I mean, like the online scenes barely even existed back then. Like, like we're talking like this is pre-smartphone era for sure. Like, so this is like your friends were people who lived near you, like outright, and like if you had friends on the internet, it was like dial-up internet or, came out after dial-up, but like the internet was in its early stages, and Like, these were young people, like teenagers, young adults. A lot of them didn't have cars or the means to go out and go places because they don't have money because they're young. So like D&D would really just be like a bunch of isolated groups rather than like one big gaming community, you know? Like sure there were like card shop, board game shop type places, but like I feel like those were largely more restricted for like city areas, because I don't think those used to be as popular, and D&D in general wasn't as popular.
Oh yeah, I feel like back then D&D was definitely the white nerdy boy hobby. It wasn't.
Yeah. Like WoW was like way cooler in terms of like social acceptance, like nerdiness type thing. Like it was still like nerdy to play WoW when I was a kid. Like it wasn't like an outright like, oh, you're one of those people. But it wasn't exactly something to like, you know, publicly admit to strangers that you don't think are into it.
Yeah. Do you think... Okay, I always hear people saying like, back then, the nerdy kids would get bullied and stuff for liking all the nerdy stuff, and now, like, of course, now, like, nerdy stuff is the whole world. Like, now, all entertainment is just nerd stuff at this point. Like, do you feel like nerd culture was basically bullied away from them? Like, did we bully nerds out of their own hobby and take it for ourselves, or did the world become nerdy?
I don't think so. I think like children are always gonna ostracize and bully others for things that are different about them. Like, it wasn't that those things were nerdy, it's that they were different. Like, well, yeah, a lot of it, like, we associated a lot of stuff with the collection of things that we call nerdy, but it's like, it wasn't like just because it's nerdy. It's like it could have been something else that was different that wasn't nerdy that people would get bullied over and ostracized over. And like now that a lot of stuff that we used to consider nerdy has become more mainstream, like you wouldn't get bullied for liking it, but the nerds who did get bullied, they would probably still get bullied because they're fucking nerds and they're weird. What? Do you know what I mean? Like,
No, you're
a normal,
100%
well-adjusted
right.
person wouldn't get bullied for just having some weird habit or weird hobby. But like
Right.
if you're into D&D and you're a mouth breather that like fucking weirds everyone out and stuff, it's like D&D is just a symptom.
Oh my gosh, did you know Power Wash Simulator 2 is already a category on Twitch? On Twitch? Or, yeah,
What?
that makes me want to check, like, is Power Wash Simulator on Steam? I gotta check now. Oh, I super duper didn't spell it right.
I feel like just typing power wash would be more than sufficient.
Oh no, it's loud! Oh my gosh!
Wait, when's it released?
The release is this year, unspecified.
Okay.
Oh look, other people are playing it. Other people have access to it.
You should scroll down. Okay.
Shit.
Oh, okay. I
Okay,
wonder what's
so
gonna be different about it.
I don't know. They have to get my ribbon back from Power Wash Simulator 1 because Wallace and Gromit stole it from me. You never expect Wallace and Gromit to steal your achievement ribbons. Anyway, I think you're right. I think they would have been just bullied for being nerds rather than for being nerds and also for playing Dungeons and Dragons. I guess back then maybe Dungeons and Dragons was just like a nerd like red flag.
Yeah, it's just like it's an easy point of attack. Like it's like an easily identified identifier. You know, like
Yeah.
this person's fucking weird and like they act weird and we're uncomfortable around them and like, oh hey, they also like that one game that that other weird guy liked, and then it quickly becomes a like, oh, people who like this thing are like this kind of person.
Bye, Freighter. Have a wonderful day at work.
Good day, Freighter.
Ooh. It's so interesting to imagine, like some of the stuff from that era, like, just because it does feel so drastically different than today, and like I imagine games in 15 years from now are gonna be so alien to how they feel today as well. Like I'm sure that the trend is gonna continue. And you see the light in like how a lot of games like roguelites and roguelikes, they kind of like instantly become popular among streamers and stuff. So I imagine like that is eventually going to affect like how games as a whole kind of like or become like the trends go towards more roguelite and roguelike features similar to like Repo Company and Repo and stuff like that. Like I feel like they're eventually going to make those like kind of like mechanics from those kind of games into basically like even the well-known games like similar to Stellar Blade or something. Do you see what I mean, kinda?
Yeah.
If I had to guess, like, the future trends of video games, I definitely don't think VR is the future. As much as people have tried multiple times to make VR the future, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think,
VR is more of an experience media than like a video game media, I feel like. I feel like it's a mistake to try and say VR will be the future of gaming, because it's like that requires people to have a VR headset and space to operate it in, and like that's always gonna be a restricted thing, and people with glasses have trouble with VR a lot of the time, and people who have the motion sickness problem.
Yeah. I heard that Google was trying to make a thing called Google Glasses, which was just basically glasses that then also had like computer screens just on the face of the glasses. And I'm like, I feel like that would have been the right direction to go with like VR, but like
That's
I
AR?
feel like AR?
Yeah, augmented reality. But you're thinking of Google Glass, and there are companies that make stuff like that now. I think Google Glass got canceled though.
Interesting, because I would love to have like, you know how like the Mizuki visor, like it's just a transparent visor, and then all of a sudden like all of my like the stuff I need just appears in my vision as a little box that I
Yeah.
like. Basically, just my eyesight is a computer screen. I feel like that is the right direction
Super
to go,
cool.
personally. Yeah.
I think this stuff's neat, but I don't think that'll be the primary thing that gaming goes to, because that's always gonna be a gimmick, interacting with the real world and the game at the same time. Like we've had that a lot of times, like PlayStation Move and the iToy and the Kinect. Like, it's fun, it's a cool idea, but like there's only so many things you can do as far as interacting with the real world. Like think about like a game like Pokemon or something, where it's like it has its own world and stuff. Like you don't need the real world. Like it doesn't help to have that. So for a lot of games, it wouldn't really have any use. You know?
Well, I don't really mean that games are going to implement real world to the games. I just mean like, I feel like the glass and stuff is going to be like how computers themselves. That's kind of like the future of computers more than games. But then, if that is the future of computers, then I can see that that is a way that VR in general becomes more accessible and more of the future. But we're a long way from that, and I'm mostly talking about like the next 15 to 20 years in gaming. Does that make more sense?
Yeah.
I think until VR is literally just a convenient glasses that you can wear, something super accessible. That's the only time when VR is going to become the quote-unquote future of gaming. Like hyper, what do you call it? Accessible.
Yeah.
We've cleaned half the table. Let's go. So the last time I played this level, there was a giant cat that was sitting on this chair, and the cat isn't there this time.
What?
Yeah. I don't know why, that the cat just sat there and stared at you. I mean, I guess it has to have been the Cheshire Cat, right? Like, what other cat is there in Alice in Wonderland?
He's the cat.
Ooh. Well, thank you so much for coming on stream with me tonight, Mizu.
You're welcome.
Keisha was having a mood, and I needed to unwind from the mood, and I am feeling better now.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm working on the other half of silence drawing a bit now.
Okay. I wanted to finish this table, but I don't think I'm going to. I can't. They didn't pay me enough to finish their wacky table. This game would be elevated so much if the Hatter, the Hare, the Mouse, and Alice were all sitting at the table talking and doing weird stuff in the chairs while I cleaned the table.
It's weird how none of their collab stuff features the characters. Like, I would have been way more interested in Tifa's bar if Tifa was present at the bar.
Why if she's just sitting there, just, and walking from one spot to another, and maybe like if you cleaned a certain part of the bar, she would start using that part of the bar. Yeah.
Yeah. Or even if she's like in an inaccessible area where you can just like see her there, like, but you can't like reach back there or something, like even that would be nice.
Why exactly like my chair idea with Alice and the Hatter? Like if they were just present, and this is kind of a complaint I have with like Minecraft and stuff where I wish games were more lived in.
Yeah. That is a big problem I have with Minecraft, is it feels so isolated and empty and dead.
Yes. It feels like a world that like I just fell into, but like I'm the only human of my species, the only creature of my species, the creator, the block crafter race. Because the villagers, they have their own towns and stuff, but they're not the creators like you are. Like they don't do stuff like that. They're just another wild enemy in this world, basically.
There is this Dragon Quest offshoot game, Dragon Quest Builders, that was basically like Minecraft with Dragon Quest stuff in it. And they had this interesting
Dragon Quest
lore.
Builders too. That game is so fun.
The world is like in a post-apocalypse, and things have gradually deteriorated. And the reason that no one is like able to fix anything up is like people are physically incapable of building. Like it's a special ability that your character possesses, like as part of the lore. Like it's like when you show up able to like place a block on the fucking wall, it's like oh my god, the Messiah, chosen one.
Amazing. I've never showed off my Dragon Quest Builder 2 island. I need to show you that sometime.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I think you would. Well, okay, it's just one little town, but I was proud of it at the time. Mizuki and Tichan and a few other of my friends all played together, and it was a lot of fun.
What?
Did Dragon Quest Builders come out after Animal Crossing? Did Dragon Quest Builders 2 come out after Animal Crossing?
I think so, but I'm not 100%.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if Pancake Island came from Dragon Quest Builders 2 or if it came from Animal Crossing, because both of those games I named my island Pancake Island.
Oh, yeah, because you told me it was like your friend named there's like Waffle Island or something.
Yeah. Yeah, she named her island Donut Island.
Oh,
I
Donut
was like-
Island, that's what it was.
Yeah. And like her whole island was like, it had loops in the path and stuff. Like she really went hard in the donut theme, which was good for her.
Cute.
Just for her, when I was doing my Dungeons and Dragons campaign, I named there was basically a pope in my campaign. I called him the Eminent Bishop. But his role in the game was basically he was the pope. He was just basically the highest member of the church. And one of the twist was he was this like the church was the villain in my game. The church was like trying to do all this evil stuff. Trying to dethrone the current ruler, the current princess of the kingdom, because they said she wasn't the true princess. And so when it came time for them to meet the eminent bishop, the twist was the eminent bishop was just like this jolly, happy person that was completely oblivious to all the stuff that was going on, because they were keeping it a secret from him. And he was just the nicest, most heartwarming person ever. And his name was Donut.
Aww.
And I named him Donut for her, like just as a reference to her, so that she would find it more endearing.
Was she playing that game?
She was one of the players in the game,
Nice.
and she had no idea that I had Donut as one of my characters. So
No.
the lore was, when the eminent bishop became their title, they had, excuse me, when the eminent bishop gained their title, they had to choose their name, kind of like, kings in Europe, like how they had to choose their name. And, so I copied that idea, and normally, like, the bishops were called, like, Alexander the 5th, Alexander the 9th, Alexander the 12th, and then, like, Elizabeth the 2nd, Elizabeth the 3rd, like, they always had those long, trailing names that every king had, and then this eminent bishop was just like, I like donuts, so I'm gonna name myself Donut.
That's fun.
Yeah. He was just jolly, happy little person. He was always supportive and just the friendliest guy you could ever meet, and he didn't worry too much about the details, right? It was like no sense getting hung up over carrying on a legacy or a name or whatever. Like just call yourself Donut because you enjoy donuts, and that's good enough for him. I love stuff like that, and fun subversions like that where everyone expects the leader of this evil part of the game to be but if you think about it, right, the church is supposed to be like for the people and supportive of the people, and he became the bishop because he was so supportive of the people and stuff. So when the twist villain, the head of the villain corporation, ended up just being this happy little guy, it was like, okay, he's definitely not part of the evil side of this goings on.
Yeah, like he's just a figurehead that they're using.
Exactly, right? Like it was different wings of the church that were doing the evil stuff, but like the whole church, the church as a whole wasn't involved in the evil stuff. It was definitely like sex of the church.
Huh?
And I mean sex as in the SECTS.
Yeah.
It was really fun writing the story. My friends asked for a political intrigue story, and I'm definitely not the right person to do that kind of stuff, but it was still fun to try.
Like a
And I
total fan?
Yeah, like my whole goal was to make it so that even though they were the villains, they were only the villains by merit of not being on the side of the church. Like they could have easily been the good guys had the players just been on the other side. I wrote them as the villains, but I wanted them to like get the impression that like neither side was the quote-unquote villain. They were just antagonists.
Yeah.
There definitely was an evil person in the church. Like he was super duper evil, but but like the church as a whole wasn't evil.
Yeah.
Just because we're streaming, I guess I can go into more detail. Unless you have something else you want to talk about?
No, go ahead. It's up to you.
Okay, so the story of my game was heavily, inspired by the Joan of Arc story. But not Joan of Arc herself. So, in my game, there was a king, and he was called the Saint King because he had saved their kingdom from an evil, from a conqueror. I'm not gonna say evil because every kingdom who was conquered by him thrived and if they gave up their kingdom peacefully, he would let them continue to be rulers. So like he was a great man, he was a kind man, but he was just a man who loved conquering. That was his his thing, and he promised his daughter he was going to give her the entire world for her 18th birthday, and he was on track to do it by her 8th birthday.
Amazing.
He was way ahead of schedule on that regard because he was just conquering things non-stop and his army was considered unstoppable. And he was a kind conqueror. They called him Alexander the Inevitable. Obviously,
Inevitable.
yeah, he was obviously based on Alexander the Great, but I just took liberties with him. And our king, the Saint King, his name I forgot. I forgot his real name, but he he told. So, Alexander lived in a place called Cinderfell, and that was like in the north part of the continent. And he was just conquering southward, and his goal was to take over this place called I completely forgot the name of the city, but it was basically the Vatican. It had a pretty name, like the Light or something. It was like some fancy, pretty French word that means light. But I forgot what the actual word was. But the only thing that was stopping him from getting down there was a choke point for this one kingdom called Evergreen. And once Evergreen was conquered, that was the last landmass that was stopping Alexander from spreading out and eventually taking over the entire south part of the world. Everything that he had already conquered, they called it the New World, and everything that was below Evergreen was called the Old World, because it was the only places that hadn't been conquered by Alexander. Oh, I apologize. I'm yawning. So, the Saint King, he went into a blackout period. He said, don't bend the knee to Alexander yet. Wait for whatever happens to Evergreen, and depending on what happens to Evergreen, then you can decide to relinquish power to Alexander peacefully or not. Because the remaining kingdoms of the old world were talking about, just giving up peacefully, because they saw how prosperous kingdoms became when they were conquered by Alexander. They're like, this getting taken over by Alexander doesn't seem like a bad deal. And the alternative is we get into a big bloody battle against him and he takes our land anyway. I say we bend the knee, and so the Saint King said, wait, hold up on doing that. If we fail, then go ahead and do what you're gonna do. And the entire kingdom went into a blackout period where for a whole month nobody got news from what happened within the kingdom, and nobody knew how the battle turned out. But after the blackout period, the battlefield where the Saint King and Alexander fought had become a crater, and the Saint King had won, and nobody knows how he did it, but he had killed Alexander on the battlefield that day, and he had been called the Saint King who had, stopped Alexander's conquest to take over all the land that was owned by the Pantheon from the church city that he was trying to conquer in the south. Does that make sense so far? I hope I didn't confuse you. So he had survived, Alexander had perished, and over time he had become beloved. Everyone loved him. He was considered a wonderful king. Hi, Vicente! Hello! But he eventually went mad, and he started calling himself the Glass King because he thought he had become made of glass. He was afraid that if anyone touched him, he would shatter to pieces. And so he decided to call himself the Glass King instead of the Saint King. Guan was descent to the monarch.
Yeah, this one's big.
By descent. And so all of that, that's just the premise of the story. Eventually the king died. The king perished. And they learned that he had never left an heir. And the reason he didn't leave an heir was because in his madness and his insanity, he was going down the list of his heirs to take the throne, and he was having his guards go out and kill those people. Like, he was having all of everyone to succeed the throne after he dies to be assassinated. And he did this because people believe that he thought he would live forever. There was no one to replace him because of his madness. That ended up not being
because he was worried that they would take advantage of him being made of glass and kill him and steal the throne.
That would have been a good idea too. So, all of his heirs were being systematically killed, but they had intentionally left 3 names off of the list of heirs just so that, in the event of his death, that they would have somebody to replace him. So they gave him a revised version of the list of heirs. But they couldn't just flat out give him a lie list because he is the king, and they couldn't. Anyway, turns out he wasn't killing his heirs because he was afraid of being succeeded. There was this whole plot about him learning that if the next heir after him was male, then there was going to be this creature called the Ouroboros that was going to be resurrected. It was a forgotten god called the Ouroboros. Not important to the story. The important part that I was trying to talk about was, the next heir after him was this cute, peasant girl. And we're just gonna call her, for the sake of this story, Hatsune Miku. That wasn't her name in the game. It was going to be one of the playable characters, backstory characters, right? So that they would have more attachment to hers. But they never got that far in the story. But it was gonna be whichever player character, one of their backstory characters was gonna end up being the heir to the throne. So for the sake of that never being chosen, we're just gonna say Hatsune Miku. And she was going to be the heir to the kingdom. She was going to be the next heir to the crown, and everyone was gonna love her because she was born a peasant. She grew up a peasant, and she was pretty, and she was shy and nervous. So there's a lot of likable things about her. But as she was being coronated, the consort of the king, the previous king's consort, her name was Lady Theophania. She was going to, she had never given birth before. She had never produced an heir. But as the Hatsune Miku was being coronated, she was going to reveal that she was pregnant. And this was going to cause the church a lot of grief because a lot of people don't really care. A lot of people were gonna say oh, it's not a legitimate heir, the king was going crazy for the past several months. There's no way the king was going to give give birth. Like he was too insane to be interested in giving birth, and he didn't want an heir because he was systematically killing all his heirs, and so like they were saying it was gonna be illegitimate. It wasn't gonna be the king's child, and that Lady Theophana was having an affair, which, by the way, she was. She had several people come to her chambers because the king wasn't meeting her needs anymore as a lover.
Yeah.
So there was gonna be two men that were going to be like just like her romantic interest while the king was still alive. But the king, you know, he had no time to deal with his wife's affairs because he was too busy, you know, trying to systematically kill all of his heirs that were gonna take over the throne. So he didn't have time to care about his wife cheating on him. Cupcake miner. Okay. So that's kind of like where the division comes from, because the church is saying, no, we have to wait until this child's birth to find out if it is in fact legitimate. And the people, the common people were like, no, we like our new queen. Let's keep her. She is here. She is not crazy. She's not killing her heirs. Let's just make her the queen because everyone loves her.
Not killing her heirs. Such a low bar.
And so yeah, that's kind of like where the conflict came from. Who was the real heir to the throne? Was it this pretty girl that everyone likes, or is it this unborn child that was for this fraternizing consort to the last king? And so yeah, that was the political intrigue story I came up with for my D&D campaign.
Fun. Did you guys get to play through it?
We got through a lot of it, but we never got to the point where Hatsune Miku was coronated, so they never knew about the child. They did meet Lady Theophania, and they did know that she had two men coming and going into her bedchambers, but they never got to the point where the revealed large jug. Okay, they never got to the point where it was revealed that she had become pregnant. And they'd never figured out if the child was the true heir. Oh, hey, there's the cat! Remember I told you there was a cat?
Oh! You made it! What in the hell? Why does he look like that?
I have no idea.
This is not what he's supposed to look like.
But he looks like I could clean him, like he has grime on him.
Yeah, like there's something wrong with his texture or something. Like,
the last time I saw him, he was purple and he just looked down at me smiling. So this is different from what I last saw.
oh.
So what do you think of my political intrigue story? Like, it's definitely not the most, it's definitely not Game of Thrones, but I think for my first attempt at political intrigue as a genre, it was okay.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. fun.
Oh, much, a thousand muches later, I was going to add an optional boss, which was, the Glass King in this underworld realm. There's going to be this underworld realm that they got to near the end of the campaign. And if they explore it, there was going to be this castle that they could explore. And in the castle was going to be the literal Glass King. A Glass King that was literal, like it's just a giant, but he's made of glass, and every time he stomps in the ground, like glass shards would shoot up from the ground and stuff, and he was gonna be like my optional super boss of my campaign that the players could find if they wanted to, that they didn't have to.
No.
And the big thing about... Hello, Aurora Moose! Then the big reveal was going to be that the Glass King had these piercing, like strikingly piercing blue eyes. And I was going to describe the baby of Lady Theophania as having these strikingly piercing blue eyes. And that was going to be my hint that the baby was in fact legitimate, like it was the king's true baby.
Oh. That's cute.
Yeah, but like I said, they never got that far, so it didn't matter.
She did.
Oh well, I'm not sad that it didn't get that far, mostly because that just means, you know, I don't have to be the DM anymore, and because I was a really bad DM.
Oh.
I didn't know what I was doing, and it took a ton of work, and I'd rather invest that time and effort into other stuff. Well, like, for the time that it was happening, it was a lot of fun, and it was fun writing a story like that, because, like, I've never really written stories in that style before. Apparently there's a ton of grime on this plate, and I'm not seeing a single bit of it. There we go. I can watch Hunters. Oh. Done! We finished the super table.
Oh. You got all this?
Yeah, the whole job is done now.
Nice,
I'm gonna
good
climb
job.
up here, I'm gonna shoot this cat, and then we're gonna send out a raid, and we're gonna end this stream.
Nice.
Hi, kitty. Hi, kitty who doesn't care about my watery shenanigans. Oh well. Well, thank you for streaming with me, Mizuki. I always appreciate it. Even though...
You're welcome.
Even though you're always here, I'm still always appreciative.
Try to be when I can.
Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and raid this person called Half Enlightened, because they are doing an art stream, and I love supporting artists.
Yay.
You all have a fantastic day. Kisu kisu. Ching.